Hi and welcome to the wrap-up of the Shannons April time online auction. With 157 lots on offer, we saw the strong momentum in the classic and collector marketplace continue. There were highlights and fantastic record results achieved across all segments in the auction. From the opening of the auction until the closing, we saw great bidding activity with many lots reaching their full potential and bidding in the last minutes. Overall, we finished off with an excellent clearance rate of over 91% and also $7.9 million in total sales. This auction featured 25 Victorian and New South Wales heritage number plates from Vic Roads and private sellers. The highlight of the offering being a rare two-digit Victorian plate, number 96. Once again, we saw strong demand across both states with many of the number plates producing record results. The highlights of the Victorian number plates were 5-digit 2288, selling for an excellent and fitting price of $93,888. The 4-digit 1688, selling for a record $200,500. And 3-digit 992 with a new Porsche 911 model, selling for an excellent $286,500 after receiving 136 bids. And finally, the rare 2-digit plate 96 sold for a record $830,000, which is a great price for a very rare plate. New South Wales number plates also produced some very strong prices across the range, the highlights being 5-digit 71717, selling for an excellent $120,500, and 3-digit plates 717, selling for an excellent $262,000, and 917, selling for also a great $250,000 after receiving 128 bids each. Motorcycles and scooters continue to be a large part of our auctions at Shannons, with 20 examples offered for the auction in this April sale. The highlights were led by the Japanese bikes, this 1981 Honda CBX 1000 motorcycle selling for an excellent $31,000. The Lil 77 Honda Z50 mini bike, offered with no reserve, proved the most popular bike lot, attracting 60 bids and selling for an incredible $17,002. And the 1954 Norton Manx 500 Racer proved great buying at $48,000 when bidding closed. The Melbourne and Sydney teams delivered 68 vehicle lots for this April auction, a wide variety of vehicles appealing to almost everyone's tastes and budgets. From the first day of bidding, there were clearly some early favourites that kept viewers engaged throughout the whole 7 days of this auction. One of the early vehicle lots performing strongly was a no reserve 67 Ford Jeep 4x4, captivating the attention of two bidders on the closing, selling for an excellent $45,000 after 95 bids. European and British classics were in high demand. The 1932 Rolls-Royce 2025 horsepower was the first to have a great run after sitting under $40,000 for the last 2 days of the auction. It sprinted away graciously in the last minutes, selling for an excellent $95,000, $501 against a range of $45,000 to $60,000. The 1989 Porsche 928 S4 Coupe enjoyed a strong run, selling eventually for $83,001 after a fierce last-minute battle. The 1973 3-litre CS BMW Coupe also picking up most of its bidding in the last few minutes of the auction extensions and selling for an excellent $135,000 against a range of $75,000 to $90,000. The post-war MGs enjoyed great results. Also, the 57 MGA 1500 Roadster performing the strongest at $48,000. And the no reserve 1969 MGB Mark II Roadster outstripped expectations by selling for $35,000 against a range of $18,000 to $24,000. Towards the end of the auction, the 1968 Jaguar E-Type 4.2 Series 2 2+2 Coupe set an auction record price when it sold for $221,000 after receiving 56 bids. There's some great examples of US classic and muscle cars on offer. This near concours condition 1966 Chevrolet Impala SS396 convertible selling for a well-deserved $86,000. The 1969 Ford Mustang Mach-1 S-Code just behind me, it was one of the best examples we've ever had on offer, and that triggered several bid extensions, selling finally for $172,500. The most quirky car in the auction, and a rare to find in Australia, this 1976 Stutz Black Hawk Coupe was hotly pursued in the closing minutes, triggering several bid extensions and finally selling for an excellent $146,500 against a range of $50,000 to $60,000. And finally, one of the star lot of this auction was a 1967 Shelby GT350 Mustang Fastback, finishing an excellent $350,000 world-class price after a bidding battle between a local and overseas bidder, and it was the biggest car price of the auction night. A great selection of classic and modern Japanese classics were on offer in this auction, most of them with no reserve. A bidding frenzy developing for the rare 2002 Mazda RX-7 Spirit R, finally selling for an excellent $125,000 against a range of $90,000 to $110,000 and 49 bids later. The Nissan Skyline GTSR HR31 also received some great last hour bidding, a total of 51 bids and realising $55,500 against a range of $35,000 to $45,000. Several Australian classics and modern classics were well pursued throughout the auction. The 2004 Ford FPV GTP sedan selling for an excellent $61,500 against a range of $35,000 to $45,000. The 2017 HSV Commodore GTSR with low kilometres sold in its upper range for a respectable $153,000. And the gorgeous 1970 Ford XW GT sedan finishing a lovely reef green was good buying at $162,500. While the biggest surprise came from the rare and immaculate Holden HD X2 Premier with great interest early on in the piece. It delivered 56 bids and sold for an auction record of $120,000. That's our wrap up for our April time online auction. Some really strong results across all segments. The auction teams are now in the process of finalising entries for our June auction. Entries close on April 25th for this auction. If you are thinking about selling, contact the Shannons auction team at shannons.com.au/auctions or head to the website for the latest listings.